Let's talk about the truth. Whew, I almost spilled my coffee. Can I give a little advice? When I think about dating in modern times, it really makes me laugh because I think people want love, but at the same time, they also don't love themselves, or their love for themselves is kind of shallow. And what do I mean by the shallow aspect? I don't mean like, oh, looking at myself in the mirror and I fucking love myself. No, like, I don't care about you loving your reflection. Well, that's important. But more what I mean is like your value, your self respect. I saw online yesterday someone was saying that they were on a date or like hanging out with a guy that they were interested in. Surprise, surprise, the guy runs into his ex-girlfriend and he's calling her name. He's like, so and so, so and so. And she's ignoring him. They go, her and the guy she's on a date with, they go to the elevator. They see the ex-girlfriend. He's like, so and so, so and so. She's like, I don't care. I don't want to talk to you. Like, leave me alone. So this girl who's telling the story, she proceeds to go to this guy's apartment anyway. Sits there and he's like, hey, I need to go talk to her. I'll be right back. And she sits there and waits for him. And her reasoning for waiting for him, she claims, was because he owed her money. But to me, why didn't that make you mad? Why didn't it make you mad that he acted in this way? And why did you, when he said, hey, I'm going to leave, I'll be right back, why didn't you get up with him and say, all right, I'm going to head out too? But if that money was so important to you, why didn't you say, before you go up there, can you cash at me or Venmo me my cash or whatever the money exchange is? Why would you sit there while he's talking to another woman? And that to me just shows like a skewed sense of self-love. First of all, your value is the cost of an Uber ride home and a bottle of liquor. No. Your safety, your value is not that. And I think people are like, oh, I'm hot, oh, I'm cool. But what are you actually doing on a day-to-day basis with people you're interested in to show that you have a little bit more self-worth? I think also a big thing that really needs to happen, so with that focus on yourself, cultivating friendships. I know myself that when I'm in my most unhealthy relationships, I'm in them because I have no one. My most unhealthy relationship, I was just like so lonely. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm only around you because I don't have anyone else to be around. Which was pretty much a lie. I did have other people. But in my head, I tricked myself and made myself think I didn't. Ew. So yeah, definitely cultivate friends. Cultivate an identity that is something you can be proud of. I like to live my life as though, say I never found anyone. Say that I never was able to find romance. I have to accept that outcome. And then who am I? Who do I become? Who do I exist as? How do I flow? I don't think the answer is decentering relationships in the way of like, oh, I deleted the apps. But I think decentering relationships really means like taking yourself, looking at yourself objectively, and expanding who you are beyond who you exist as right now. So you might be like, yeah, well, I'm good at work and I like to do Pilates and but like what's in your brain? What are you curious about? What do you like to study? I don't know. I just think that you really need to have like a rich inner world, be an interesting person. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice I think people should stop meeting strangers off the internet. I really think that a lot of problems in relationships stem from you meeting some random ass person off of the internet and you think that that person is going to be the love of your life. And although, yes, there are exceptions to the rules, I definitely don't think we should normalize falling in love with a stranger off the internet or trying to rush into love with a stranger off the internet. What do I mean? You meet this stranger, someone that you've never met in your entire life, and you go on a date with them. You date them for 2 months, you hook up with them, and you expect something. You expect it to work. And call me an asshole, but I think that's quite silly. I think that the best relationships are built off of knowing someone and befriending them and then maybe taking that plunge into love. And I don't mean you need to know all the intimate details about them, but I think too many relationships are built in a vacuum. What do I mean? I mean that too many relationships exist with just the two of you, and then you're supposed to bring in everyone else. And I don't think that makes any sense to me, because if you have a rich inner world, your priority will be, how does this person fit into my world? My relationships with my friends, my family. How do they fit in with my hobbies and my interests? You're not going to find out these things just by going on dinner dates and hanging out. I really think that some of the first dates should just be you at a bar with your friends and them popping through. You can learn a lot about a person if you are around your friends, if you put them around your friends. I don't think someone should have to get to know you and then you introduce them to your friends. I honestly think if you have good people around you, if you have beautiful humans around you, that person you're dating should just effortlessly flow into what you've built. And I don't think it's a lot of pressure. I would love a first date where I got to meet a couple of their friends. Like we went and played pool, or we went and bowled, like we went bowling. Like that's fun. Me sitting across from you over dinner, having an interview, no thanks. And that's exactly what it is. A date is now an interview. It's like we get our jobs, our relationships, all through the same way. We make a profile. It's supposed to represent us. Meanwhile, it's only a fraction of who we are. And then through that, we're supposed to find compatibility. And it's crazy because we don't make a profile that is truly authentic to ourselves. We make a profile that is going to attract the type of person that we desire. So it's like bait. Your bait, unless you are the actual manic pixie dream girl, you cannot do the bait. No offense. I think another piece of advice I hold is that romantic relationships, they should be earned. Romance is earned. It's weird. I didn't know that people date and like expect romance. In a lot of ways, we've turned courting into this like disingenuous process where it's like a checklist of things someone has to do to fuck you. So take me out on dinner, pay for the dinner, pay for my ride home. All these are signals to showcase that I am, or like this person is like a valuable partner. But none of those require, what do I say, emotional intelligence, actual good, like a good person. Anyone could just buy an Uber, anyone could buy you dinner, you know? And I know a lot of people don't do that, so omit them. If someone offers you to go on a date, sure, like for sure, like they should pay for it, cool, that's fine. But demanding a ride or you're a stranger. You're a stranger. And I think that's the thing you have to realize is that romantic love should be earned and dating is a long time investment. And I don't think a lot of people want to play the slow game. And that's a problem. That's why you end up with clowns. You date someone, it goes quickly, it's whirlwind, it's beautiful, and it fizzles out just as fast. And then the switch of making it romantic becomes kind of fun because you already have the baseline of connection and they understand you as a person. But it's like, now let's make it cute. And now you know when they do those romantic gestures, it's not just to like get in your pants, it's to showcase another level of care. Okay, another thing is, what do you want besides the does? Like, duh, you know? And what are does? Does are like your non-negotiables, the pillars of your relationship, like the things that have to exist for you to be devoted to someone. I think that looks like religious alignment, spiritual alignment, employed, acceptable income for you, kind, helpful, loving, considerate. Like, what are your non-negotiables? Okay. Now, what else? Like, I think people, especially, I was talking to someone a while ago and she was telling me, well, like, yeah, I want a guy who's like religious and, you know, kind but I'm like, but like, what else? You know, like, who is this person? Like, what do they do on the weekend? How do they like to spend their life? Because I don't think I could ever, like, here's an example that I have, and this might not be not your thing, but I don't think I could ever date someone who wasn't into like live music. I know there's people out there that don't give a fuck about live music. I am not one of them. I'm a person who I need you to enthusiastically enjoy this show with me. Like, if I'm dancing and being silly, I need someone right there with me that's gonna dance. I need someone who's gonna hold my hand and push me in a mosh pit. That's like the kind of energy that I need. Someone who's going to, you know, be excited, surprise me with concert tickets, or go to a music festival with me and have a fucking good time and not complain. So I could never be with someone who is like, oh my God, I don't want to go to that show, or oh my God, like, I don't want to do that. No. And they could be the nicest person, they could be funny, they could be employed. But if you don't want to go to a fucking show with me, like, it's not going to work. It really won't, because my dream person, they love music just as much, if not more, than I do. It could be the same about food. I love cooking. I can never be with someone who didn't like to cook. My mom doesn't like to cook, my dad, he cooks. And I think I'm just like, you know, like, they can go off, they can do their thing. But for me, no, like, you could be the nicest person, you could be spiritually aligned, you could be very helpful, have a good income. But if you don't want to be in the kitchen with me, like, hanging out, cooking, cook for me, I cook for you, like, no, it's not gonna work. So I think beyond the does, beyond just like a decent human being, who do you picture yourself with? You know, what kind of energy do they bring to a space? How do they show up in their friendships? Are you friends with the person who doesn't like remember to message their friends happy birthday? Or like I could never be with a person who was just like didn't care it was their friends' birthdays, or didn't like love their family. They're just like, you can meet someone who is funny and cool and has a good job, but they hate their mom. It's like, what? Be specific. Know what you actually want. Carve that person in your head and don't let that image waver. So, yeah, like too many people are just obsessed with being with someone because they just check all the boxes of nice, took him out on a cute date, knows how to dress. Also, my final piece of advice really is like, who is this person, right? Who are they? What do they do? Are they active? Are they a traveler? Do they like to rock climb? Do they like to cook? Do they like to go for walks in the park? Do they like to read books at the park? Do they enjoy surfing? Who is the person that you think you would fall for? What do they do? Go there. Go do what they do. So if you're the kind of person that loves, who loves your dog, okay, well then let's hang out more at dog parks, doggy bars, whatever. Be a regular somewhere. Literally, all my friends who are in relationships right now, they've met all their partners because they were doing something that they love. My one friend just said she met her boyfriend because she was going to drag bingo every Wednesday, and she lives in this town where there's there's not a lot to do, okay? And so she was at drag bingo and he was at drag bingo with his friends. And he just saw her a couple of times and then I guess the moves were made. Now they're dating and now she's happy. Where is the person? Oh, they're doing the thing that you love to do as well. There has to be a common ground. How are you connecting? Remember that. There has to be a common ground between you and this person. I mean, where have I met lovers in the past? Volunteering, work, class, just like places you frequent. And to me, that's how it should be. Okay. I think let's put some like natural energy into it and, get off of the apps. You don't want to date someone who uses dating apps, in my opinion, because to me, that just shows that you want to put out some bait and just want someone to come to you, and you're not willing to put yourself out there, be a bit uncomfortable when you find someone attractive, and you're not okay with the actual rejection that is involved in dating. I like to be with someone who isn't afraid of rejection. Any person that I've been with, it's always been a very forward experience. Oh, I wanted to add really quickly that the reason why I'm so anti-dating app is really because it's very low effort. It takes zero, I would say it probably takes maybe 0 to 10%. I don't even know. It just takes minimal effort to do a dating app. You build a profile, people like it, and then you just say, hey, what's up, or something witty. No. And then when you learn about how people use dating apps, even worse. The methods, it's just gross. I think more people should be repulsed by the idea of being swiped on, and more people should just go and do an activity outside of their home that requires them to meet people. I said it.